Jana, I'm sorry, but I think before the game against Newcastle, Rangnick had 2 weeks to work with the players, and he did, and nothing happened. Well, yeah, the worst. They even play worse than they used to.
Frank, fair enough. And but if you have a look at the coaches who have arrived in England, I think only Tuchel you can see a sudden impact on their team. I'm not saying that Ralf Rangnick would be a success as Manchester United, but I think that it's very early to kind of judge what kind of team he will get there. But
again, Again, Jan, I'm sorry, you're naming Tuchel, but I can name Conte. Conte arrived 8 games without losing a game, you know. So some coach can have a real impact. I think the problem with Rangnick, I'm sorry, I'm going to finish. The problem with Rangnick is I think he's not legitimate towards some players to be listened to. That's the main concern that he has. He has to get the dressing room, and so far he hasn't gotten it because he's a non. He has maybe talent, but I think he's not listened by some players.
It's a very good point, Frank, in terms of people talking about coaches losing the dressing room. You make a very good point. It's also about winning the dressing room. And I think Ralf Rangnick got to win the dressing room with his ideas. That's what I'm saying. Let's see what he's doing in training. But last time I checked, without being the lawyer of Ralf Rangnick, this was the first loss he had for Manchester United. So we can use the stats as we want.
Jules, the concerning thing from a United perspective is that we saw, once again, over the last 24 hours in the UK newspapers, these reports that the players aren't happy. It's really early, isn't it, in a manager's tenure to have these sort of stories leaking out?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's the most worrying because, of course, we can always discuss the tactics and the 4-2-2-2 and the pressing or not pressing, all of this, of course, and some of these ideas and methods just take time overall anyway. But I think the most worrying is those noise that come from the training ground. We know that, especially at United, there's a lot of things that are often leaked to some of the tabloids, some of the press in general here in England, and that's not the kind of noise that you want. That there's players unrest. There's some of them are not happy, and I think Jan is right. I mean, after the guy just being here for a few weeks when a lot of this squad has had COVID. So it's not even if you'd been living all together for a month. You know, some would not have seen him for 2 weeks. So I find it a bit strange that already you've had enough of him, if we believe those reports, and certainly I think there's a lot of truth in it, because he deserves a chance like anybody else, of course, regardless of who you are and who you played for before. And I don't feel that maybe he's been given this chance by the dressing room, so there's still plenty of time for him to get things right and for him to get the respect from the dressing room. But it's wrong already that we even have to talk about Ralf Rangnick and who he is trying to get the respect from the Manchester United dressing room.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.